Hey, welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've done reviews of TV shows or movies for that matter. And the aspect is right now, both of the shows that I'm going to be reviewing today, they're already towards the end or mid-season of it or towards the mid-season or mid-end of it, basically, more than anything. And usually I do one, but in this case, I'm just going to do two. So in any case, let's start off with the fact that what I normally have enjoyed for the past four seasons was only Murders in the Building. This new season, season five, is turning out to be really good. I mean, it's becoming more star-studded. Let's be honest, more star-studded than it was before. I mean, granted, you had Meryl Streep and Paul Judge, the priors. This one, it's like they still retrain, re pull. I guess I don't know what the terminology is. Actually, yeah, they just basically take the cast, some of the old members from the old seasons, and bring them into the new season at that point. And let's be honest, this season is like a little bit more star studded than we expected. The one thing though is it's showing that now as the season is progressing, it's though as there's no gotcha moment or like it's not making you trying to solve what the issues because you kind of could figure it out along the ways. It's not that same way that it was in the first two seasons at least where it was like oh gotcha moments like oh my goodness it's actually these people, unless of course they decide to change. Now spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, if they decide to change it, it's like it wasn't anyone, it wasn't Camilla, but it was the that are they or whatever how you want to pronounce her name, or Theona, whatever it was, Theona, that but aka the is the actual murderer. I mean that probably killed uh, Lester. Well, we're saying that it's possibly the other doorman that killed Lester, which I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the, because it seems like I bet you she probably paid him to shut up. I don't know. Well, only time will tell, basically. But I will say this: it's genuinely entertaining. This season is genuinely entertaining. It's not it was as it was before, where like it always had to build itself up. This is a case where it is entertaining. Each episode has been entertaining. I think they learned that. Even though this is the final, I think this is the final season. It's genuinely entertaining, and I wish there was more. But you know what, Martin Short and Martin Short and Steve Martin. I mean, they're, I don't want to say their careers are revitalized, but sort of is. And of course, with Selena Gomez as well too. Let's be honest. I mean, like after a while, she was like you weren't really hearing much from her, maybe outside of the music industry, but nothing in regards to acting. And now this is bringing her back basically at that point. Now on to the next show, Gen V season two. Basically, it's turning out to be interesting. I mean, honestly, for me, I kind of figured out that Cipher was actually Thomas Goddard and like he was controlling the random dude. Honestly, I think you could lead to that moment to figure out what was going on based on the fact that when Marie said that she could not find any trace amounts of V in his blood, I was like, all right, that's kind of odd. It's like, all right, that's interesting. They has no powers, and like a human's actually controlling, the university. God, you. But it turns out not the case. It's Cipher, aka Thomas Goddard. Because like the moment he was able to do all this stuff, I was like, all right. And then the sex scene with Goddard's body watching, and they were looking. I was like, that's that I could only figure out that point. I was like, oh, now granted, I haven't read the graphic novels, but I was like, okay, that turns out Goddard is basically controlling Cipher from that perspective, and like and that's why I kept hitting him and whatnot. I'm like, this makes no sense. Why would you hit someone unless you're like trying it for yourself and like you're hoping? My thought was I thought he was going to take over Marie herself, her body. I didn't think she was going to heal him up. I thought he was just going to hit some way of like controlling someone's mind, but also transferring his essence into them. I would have been interesting if that was the case, but it looks like this is Marie basically healing him now, and like it's going to be interesting to see what he does. But it comes to a point where like I've never read the graphic novel, but seeing as how Marie is able to put put it this way, she can actually identify who has V and who doesn't have V, which means she could, she could pretty much see the genetic aspect of like who has V and who doesn't. And if she's able to heal people, through, by, coagulating the blood and doing whatever with the blood at that point, and, making alterations via the bloodstream. It makes you wonder, is she that powerful enough to the point, like, if she can actually inhibit the V compound in everyone's body, basically, in every superhero? Because let's be honest, if she can inhibit Homelander's, I think that's why they're saying that she might be just as powerful, if not more powerful, than anyone else. And that because the reason is that if she can inhibit everyone's compound V, which aka inhibits their powers, they're all normal, mortal human, mortal people at that point, and they could just die very, especially Homelander, he could just die very quickly. So I'm just kind of curious to see how this plays out. I mean, I'm hoping that's what we're gonna see down the line, where Butcher finds out what her powers are truly are, and use her to basically train in a ways to, well, he's not gonna train her honestly. He's probably gonna be like all Butcher on her. I think Mother's gonna have to like basically come in and basically like be the parental figure to her, to say like, hey, look, we can control, you gotta control it, but if you can control it, you help out a lot of people. And I think the best way to, it'd be fun if she could actually, or it'd be interesting to see if Marie actually turns villain as well too. That's the other factor is like, she can turn villains like and control people's powers. And I think that's why, I forgot her name now, the character's name. I even forgot the actress's name, but the one that basically is controlling the smartest woman in the world, the smartest person in the world. I wonder if she knows that, and that's why she's trying to see if she can make alterations to her and like basically see. Well, actually, she's smart enough that she could probably develop an anti venom to V as well too, or an anti whatever it is to V at the V compound. Basically, an antidote to the V compound, if you want to call it an antidote. But I'll love to see how it is. But with that, let me know your thoughts. What you thought of my quick recap of both Only Murders in the Building, season 5. Again, I'll do another full recap once the season's over. Chances are it's probably going to be I think it's going to be in 2 weeks. I got to take a look and see. And then, of course, with Gen V, I haven't read the graphic novels, but I mean, from the aspect of like Gen V itself with the boys, Gen V seems like it's just an offshoot. They said, hey, boys is really popular. Let's make a spin off of it that's not in the graphic novels. But the reality is like, because it's not following the graphic novels, this could probably change everything, specifically with Marie's powers, basically. If she is able to identify the V compound in a person's bloodstream, and now she knows how to have the ability to inhibit it, she becomes the most powerful soup there is. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit the like button. I never said like, well, in other videos, depending on the content I'm talking about, I will focus more on that content based on the like buttons, basically. So if someone's hitting the like button on this, I'll probably more focus on this and then all the others at that point, like with movies and TV shows and whatnot. Granted, I'll admit some of the TV shows I'm watching are obscure or not obscure, or more so to the point like I don't have time to watch all of them. I'm watching now Last Frontier as well as Tulsa King and such, so we'll see how all those work out. But Sandman season 2, I'm still watching. I'm in the process. I'll give you my full review of that. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.